remembered. Our local recording started. Looks like he's running some sort of Sapphire. I feel like this is a pretty bad matchup for me, especially if he gets his turn 2. Whatever the guy's name is. Okay, we'll go with this. This is fine. We'll keep this. If he gets a turn 2 Reese the Crustcrawler, we're in some trouble here. He's got those great Buccaneer sleeves, although, well, maybe he's not playing. Maybe he's playing something else. He's playing, Wyatt the Sapper. It's been a while since people have played Wyatt the Sapper, so that's kind of interesting. So we'll open up with this Minion of Yazukan and start pinging away at him. It's debatable if I should play this for Wild or Blood right now. Hopefully I'll get a good card draw that will give me one direction to go or another. I suppose I need more Wild right now, but Wild's a lot easier to get to in the deck. Okay, well that's fine. We can go Blood with it, and then I'll still be able to get to Wild eventually. So that's fine. We'll just go like that. Swing in with our Minion. This way it makes it look like I'm just a straight Blood deck. So he's probably not too afraid of Minion of Yazukan. Minion of Yazukan is more of like a buff for my other stuff. I can use him to buff my Wrathwood Master Moss or Jadiim or something like that. He doesn't block though, so if he's running some sort of like deck with whatever it's called, ooh, that's kind of unfortunate. So maybe I should have gone with Wild, so I could have played the Crash Beast here. But that's fine. Next turn we're gonna play Master Moss anyways, depending on if he can counter or not. If he can counter, then I probably won't play it. I'll play the Crash Beast instead, but if he can, I don't know, let's see. Would I rather have Crash Beast countered or Wrathwood Master Moss? I think I'd rather have Crash Beast countered. Yeah, given the choice, I think I'd rather have Crash Beast countered. Okay, we'll go and swing in with our Minion again. Play Crash the Beast in our second main phase here, because he can counter. Very likely he has the counter. Yep, not a big surprise there. But I can still play all the rest of them for 5, so not a big deal. So next it's kind of like, do I want him to counter Wrathwood Master Moss or Jadiim? Master Moss or Jadiim? Probably Jadiim, I guess, would be the one I would want him to counter. Ooh, there's a Ambusher. So, swing in with this Minion of Yazukan here. So if he spends all of his counters on my dudes, then he won't be able to counter Extinction when he finally gets some sort of board state. So we'll let him counter Jadiim here. He's only got 4 in the deck, tops. Okay, well that's good for me, I guess. Okay. Draws a card. Jadiim might lay a lot of smackdown here if he can't do anything about it. Heat Wave. Sure, I'm okay with that. Probably has another, yep, there we go, Crackling Bolts. Yeah, the 2-for-1 my Jadiim. The Minion still is reasonably good. Yeah, I know he can't counter Wrathwood now, so that's good for me. He's gonna have a hard time dealing with Minion if most of his removal is in that. It's just Ruby removal. You know, he can't counter Wrathwood now. You could bounce it, maybe. We'll go ahead and play this for Blood. We do need 7 shards as our top end for this deck. We have 1 Wrathwood, or not Wrathwood, but Arborean Rootfather in here. Archmage Renlock, sure. So I'll go ahead and swing in with Minion. I don't think he's going to want to block him. If he does, I can kill him with Ambusher in my second main phase. Go ahead and swing in here. I mean, if he blocks him, it's really good for me. Because he can't counter here. Okay. So he can't counter, so we'll just Ambusher his guy here. His Archmage Renlock. Play Chlorophyllia to deck thin a little bit. Ambush is a really bad bounce target for his deck. If he does have any Buccaneers or anything, he's gonna burn in response. I think this still goes though. No? Yeah, it does. Okay. Go ahead and use the Chlorophyllia to deck thin us. Things are looking pretty good so far. I mean, we're sitting at 2 Extinction if things get really hairy, but I don't think things are going to get crazy. There's an Eldritch Dreamer, and maybe just a little bit too late for Eldritch Dreamer to really do anything here. Let's go ahead and swing in with our Master Moss here. Play Root Dancer in second main phase. It's been a long time since we've seen Root Dancer. I'm bringing it back today. We've got 2 Root Dancers in the deck. People, I think, really underestimate the power of Root Dancer. So if he draws a card off this guy, I don't think it'll be enough to help him. And he really needs the blocker right now. So he can't even really, at this point, playing this guy is kind of like not good enough. It's not going to be good enough unless he can somehow bounce my whole field or sweep my field or something. Alright, so he's back. It's his turn. I would be very surprised if he's got another turn, but I mean, it's possible if he can bounce my Master Moss. If he can bounce my Master Moss, I'll give him an extra turn. But if not, I mean, game's pretty much over. He's got a Mastery Time. That'll give him an extra turn, sure. So if he gets an extra card draw off of his Eldritch Dreamer, sure. Sure, that's pretty good. Yep, get that extra card draw there. Probably the biggest play of the game was him blocking my Minion of Yazukan and me killing it with the Ambusher. That was probably the biggest play of the game for me. I don't know, maybe he's got something really big to play here. Another Mastery Time. Okay, more card draw for him. I mean, I guess there is a chance he could just completely tempo me out and just play, like, if he plays like a bunch of those and then grulks me or something, then I may have to like Extinction in response, which would be really bad to have to do that at this point in the game, but there's a chance that that could happen. I mean, this is a pretty good board state for him to just keep drawing Mastery Times with. I did have 20 health starting out this turn sequence. He's got Shaggoth. 2 cards of this in your hand, the deck interrupts. Okay, so I may actually have to Extinction now. So I'll probably Extinction here in the following turn. No attacks necessary, really. In fact, I'm going to sack my guy. I'm going to sacrifice my Minion before I Extinction here. Oops. I did not want that to actually go there, but that's fine, I guess. I was trying to sack that guy to go into that guy. we'll just go ahead and Extinction here. She can't counter because he has no resources. So, alright, well, let's see if he can dig his way out of this one. 4 cards, I mean, that's a lot of cards. But I also have a really big Minion of Yazukan, which he can't really deal with at all. Double Heat Wave possibly here, or double... yeah, Rage Fire plus Heat Wave, sure, to kill, to finish off my thing. Minion's coming in 2 turns, so... and then that's 6 damage by itself, so he has to be able to deal with that. He may not have anything else. Okay, we'll sit on this shard, no reason to use the shard, pass the turn back. So we're just kind of waiting for our minion to resurface here. Plays a shard. It's interesting to see a deck that's not one of the ones that's the top tier, the ones that have been accepted as the top tier ones. This is an interesting deck that Phelon's playing today. So we'll see if he has the. Oh, he's got a counter magic for it. Ooh. Okay. So that's 3 counter magic. I do have an Extinction. Oh, okay. So chances are pretty good he doesn't have a counter for this Crashy Beast here. Oh, no, that's his last counter. Okay, so. Alright, well I can play Crashy Beast if I draw it again. So we're kind of going card for card. I'm sitting on Extinction, so it's going to be all the top decks now. I do have 24 shards in the deck. I've got 9 of them. You know, I've played 8 and then I've got 1 in hand, so 9 out of 24. So chances of flooding are probably 1 in 4 about. So chances of drawing a shard instead of something I can actually play are 1 in 4. He has drawn quite a few more cards than me this game, given that he mastery timed me pretty hard. Oh, that's definitely, what's his name? Reese, the Crust Crawler. So, at least I have Extinction for him. Oh, yep, we flood. Okay, so we'll just sit on these shards. There's no reason to play him. So, hopefully we won't flood too much. Hopefully we can actually get some more action here. So, we've got 2 turns before Reese is really going to start going nuts on our faces. Chlorophyllia, we're going to play this so we can deck thin some more. That's our virtual card draw. I mean, we do have Extinction. He's spent all of his counter magics, but he could have, what is it called? Verdict of the Ancient Kings. There's an Archmage Renlock. That's definitely not good for us to have to deal with. But I have to wait for Reese to hit the table, is what I have to wait for. Come on, something good. There we go. Vampire King. That'll work. Sure. Just sit on cards in our hands some more here. If he swings, I think he'll have a burn in hand or something. He probably has burn, but I've got Extinction anyways. That's fine. I'll 2-for-1 him. He's got burn or some sort of burn spell, or another Archmage, I guess. Okay. I guess that's so he could play the Archmage, so it's 1 less thing. Okay, and there's Crackling Bolt to draw a card. Sure. Reese is coming down next turn. Hopefully he doesn't have whatever it's called in hand. Yeah, that was probably actually a mistake, honestly. Yeah, we'll just sit on this board state. Gotta wait for Reese, and then hopefully he just doesn't have the counter for our Extinction here. So we're gonna take 7. 6, 7. Sure. So we'll see if he's got it or not. I have to Extinction here. I have to deal with Reese as soon as he hits the table. We'll go see if he's got the if he's got the counter. He spent all his regular counter magics. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was his last one. I thought he had used 4. I was pretty sure he was out, but apparently not. Apparently I was wrong. So it looks like I lose here. Yeah, I can't deal with that damage. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's 10 damage. Alright, well, there we go. I kind of figured that I was going to scrub today, and probably the biggest mistake for me was letting him kill my Vampire King. So, I'll go first in game 2. So, it's pretty much over. Okay, so let's see what we can do versus this mostly spell-based deck. Let's type in a bunch of gibberish up here. Go over to our reserves. We're kind of in it for the long game. It feels like mostly just Inquisition is our card here. Card of choice. Not sure if I want more Vampire King, but definitely want Inquisition in here. Let's see. The card draw is kind of important. Constantina, I could probably pull her. Probably take the Vampire King down to 1. Constantina down. Constantina, I can pull her out. Root Dancers, I could probably pull those out as well. Because those are just buffs anyways for my stuff. And he can kill them pretty easily with his ruby stuff. So, there you go. That's my side in for this. Alright, let's go to game 2. Yeah, I probably just should. Felon. Okay, good. Chose to draw. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so early Minion of Yazukan into Chlorophyllia is pretty good. We won't be able to play Inquisition right away, but we'll keep this. Minion was like an all-star in that game. Like, he actually had to counter magic Minion because he couldn't deal with them. So, that was kind of funny. We can actually play an early Jadiim here, too. Because we got the double Chlorophyllia. If we draw a shard, we'll be able to play early Jadiim, possibly. I think most of the damage done in that game was by Minion of Yazukan, actually. So we got Chlorophyllia. Unfortunately, we can't play both of them this turn. Go ahead and swing in, and then we'll play Chlorophyllia in our second main phase. We could sack him, but I think I'll just wait. So, yeah, typically I'm thinking you want to wait on sacrificing this guy with your champion power so you could get your so you could actually buff something like this Master Moss or Jadiim or something like that. Ooh, another Minion of Yazukan. So that'll probably be our play this time. Another Minion. Go and swing in, we'll play Minion in our second main phase. And then next turn we have Master Moss. We'll probably actually buff Minion with the Minion because it seems to be really just hard for him to deal with these Minions of Yazukan. He did kind of like draw a bunch of, what is it called? Actually, I probably will just buff the Minion with the other Minion. So now I've got a 3/3 Minion of Yazukan next turn. That seems pretty relevant. Just gonna time ripple my guy in response. Does he still get the buff? He does not get the buff. Yeah. Alright. So now it's down to, again, would I rather him counter the Master Moss or the Minion? Obviously, I'd rather he counter this Minion. He's probably sitting on counter magic here. So go ahead and play the Minion. He doesn't have counter. That's good for me. Or at least he didn't want to use it. I guess it's only a 1/1 right now, so it's not that bad. Plays an Eldritch Dreamer, so that makes it, gives me a clear road to play Jadiim next turn. I can throw out a Jadiim, although he can bounce it or like double burn it or something. Let's go ahead and swing in. These guys can't block at all, so of course this guy's unblockable, so it's like an unblockable guy versus guys that can't block anyways. Yeah, let's do that again. That guy 3/3. Again, these guys seem to be really hard for him to deal with, so I'm going to buff him up as much as possible. He doesn't have his ruby, so at least that's something. He's missing his ruby shard. Of course, I'm missing my other blood shard to play this Inquisition. If I threw the buff on Jadiim, something tells me he'd be able to take care of him. Like, he'll bounce him, and then I'll play him again, and he'll counter him or something. Like, I guess he could do that with Minion as well, but it feels better like if he has to do that to Minion than if he does that to Jadiim. Because Jadiim's just kind of expensive for me to replay as well. It's debatable if I'm going to throw out this Wrathwood. I think I do, because he's kind of got a bad board state on my, that he's going to have to deal with here. Now, if he goes nuts again and has a bunch of mastery at times with this Eldritch Dreamer, then I'm in some trouble. But if not, I think Jadiim counts it as soon as you play a card, so I should be able to Wrathwood. Of course, if I draw blood, though, I'll Inquisition first. If I draw a blood shard. Yep, sure, why not? Get a Mastery of Time. Sure. Sure. That's nice. Of course, I haven't seen my Inquisitors, which completely, like, say no to Eldritch Dreamers, but some nights are your night, some nights are not. Yep, more damage I couldn't block anyways, even if I wanted to. Draw some more cards, hopefully not more Mastery Time. It's like a preemptive time ripple. So he probably has counter magic here. So would I rather he counters again? Would I rather he counters Jadiim or Wrathwood Master Moss? I guess I'd rather he counters Jadiim. Counters Jadiim or Wrathwood. Yeah, the thing is, there's 3 more Wrathwood in the deck, so I don't really like. If he counters Jadiim, that's fine. He's gonna counter here. It's gonna happen. So, if I had blood, okay, he Shaggoth me to counter. Okay. So he discarded 2 cards and threw the Shaggoth back into his deck to counter me. Drawing the extra card again. If I had Inquisitor is the best card I could have here, but he can counter, so that's kind of an issue. Of course, I still need a Blood Shard, so I'm in a pretty bad place. I think this is going to be his game again. Yeah. I need to draw a Blood Shard here so I can Extinction the table. I really need a Blood Shard here, really badly right now. Yes. Yes. Alright, so we'll go to our tech step. Swing in, and then I can Inquisition and then Extinction. In case he has counter magic. In case he just drew into it. And that puts me back into this game. Actually, he can't counter anyways. I think I Inquisition anyways. I want to see what he's got. So let's see what he's got here. Archmage Renlock is the only thing I'm really too scared of, and he's got Verdict, but that's not going to handle my troop. A couple of Bolts and Ragefire, that's fine. So we're going to get rid of Archmage here so he doesn't get any more card draw. Extinction the table. And then I have my minions that'll be coming back. So he has to top deck some sort of board state. Plus I can Wrathwood Master Moss here, and I know he can't counter. Drew a Shard there. That's good for me. He may actually have to spend his burns on these minions. Also, he could have, with the damage he had 6 and another 5 damage in hand. That's enough that he could have killed me that turn. So it was within a turn that I actually had, you know, like he had me the next turn. So I was very lucky that I was able to do what I just did there. We only have Wrathwood Master Moss to play here. We know he can't counter, so that's good. The Inquisition told us that. And then next turn we've got tons of damage, which hopefully, as long as he doesn't go nuts, we should be able to finish here. So turn that around really fast. That was pretty crazy. Yep, so he's going to double burn my Wrathwood Master Moss so it's less damage, but then I can just get it back. Or he's going to spend 3 cards on Master Moss? I think he's got a 3rd. No, he doesn't. That's... wow. I still win here because we've got both the minions coming out, so without Master Moss I still finish the game out here, so... oh, he's got... oh, there's his counter magic. Doesn't matter, we still have it. So, another really close game for this deck. Inquisition definitely was ridiculously good in this match, so maybe I should be main decking Inquisition in a deck like this. My 2-drop slots are pretty good, but maybe playing those may have been better than some of the other choices that I made. Signing out the Vampire King I think was also a good choice, so I'm guessing he'll go first. Again, he gets the first turn because he lost the second round. So again, I don't know. I feel like this is typically not going to be my game type of thing. Play draw first because he won, or he lost the second round. Jadiim, and there's only one Jadiim in the deck. Ugh, yuck. All right, well this is auto mull. 1 shard and it's the wrong shard, so we'll draw again here. And reasonable. Okay, we'll keep this. So we'll go ahead and go blood into blood, and we get the early Inquisition here to get rid of some of his aggression. We typically are going to probably want to just go after all the troops in his deck. He doesn't have that many to begin with, and yeah, that's going to be the thing. Of course, he could... Oh, there we go, Minion. Oh, man. I think it's really... well, if he's got Reese, he's going to play him anyways. So let's just go ahead and go in on Minion here. If he's got Reese, he's going to turn to him anyways. There's nothing I can do to... I can't Inquisition him before he plays Reese. So if he doesn't have Reese, you know, that's the only reason why I would want to have... If I was going first, then I would play the Shard of the Ancients in case he had Reese, so I could just snipe it out of his hands with Inquisition. But if he's got it, he's playing it. So, yep, he's got it. There wasn't anything I could do to stop that. I do have Extinction for when it gets played, but when it finally comes into play, but yeah, that's double Extinction. But I also have to actually get another Shard in play to get that to happen. So this may be that early Reese. If he especially has counter magic for an Extinction, there's not a lot I can do about it because my deck's not going to be very fast. I don't have a lot of great answers for Reese besides, you know, these two Extinctions. So, plus we still need to draw a Shard here, so it's kind of on pins and needles here. We do have a couple of turns, but he's got plenty of time with just this Minion of Yazukan hitting the table here and pinging away at his face. Oh, 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage. You know, this is a card that just keeps getting better over time type of thing. It's one he can't really kill with most of his removal because it just comes back anyways, so... Okay. So we'll Inquisition here. See if we can snipe out one of those counter magics, or see how much counter magic he's got, at least, unless he's going to counter this. Yeah, that's fine. I would love for him to counter that instead of my Extinction, so I'm fine with that. And we'll play this for wild, of course, because we need wild shards, and we don't have anything else to play anyways. And then next turn, we'll see if we can draw out another counter with our Wrathwood Master Moss, because again, Reese is like, yeah, a big deal for us to have to deal with. He is in range of playing another annoying card right now. He could play either either Eldritch Dreamer or... No, he's not going to play either one of those. They're 4-cost cards. His Archmage Renlock or Eldritch Dreamer could have hit the table there. So, but we've got 2 more turns before... So we've got this turn, and then it'll be the next turn after that that Reese is going to hit the table and lose his mind, of course. So we'll go and swing in. Minion of Yazukan here. Play our Master Moss, see if we can draw out a counter. He's got to counter this. If he's got counter, he has to counter it. If he doesn't have it. Yeah, he doesn't have it. So 7/7 Master Moss seems pretty relevant. And we got Minion coming back as well. Looks like he's back in black. He could bounce my Wrathwood Master Moss here, or bounce it on the attack or whatever. We've got 1 turn before we're going to see Reese hit the table, which is of course always a scary prospect whenever that happens. Chances are pretty good he's got the bounce for Wrathwood, and I'll have to replay it into counter magic again. Into possible counter magic. He did just draw 2 cards, so he's you know, he went from 4 cards up to 5 cards after playing his Shard there. Wakizashi Ambusher. I think I can bury this. I'll bury it in a minute here. Let's just go in, and the thing is, like, if I can kill this bunny, it'll buff the Ambusher when it's underground, which is pretty cool. Ooh, I get the damage. Get the damage? Seriously? Do I get this damage? Or is he going to bounce? I smelled the bounce coming. I have 2 Extinction, and I can, if I draw a resource, I can play the second one, so... I'm going to go ahead and bury this guy, just because there's a very good chance this guy's going to die again before this guy surfaces, which means that he'll be able to kill something bigger, and he'll be bigger as well, which is always nice. Plus I have Extinction I'm going to play here, And that seems pretty relevant. So taking 4 from Reese is not a problem. The problem is all the dudes that he creates. So chances of counter magic here are pretty high. But even if he does cast counter magic against Extinction after my attack with Master Moss, it's kind of like plus. Oh, he's got the Mastery of Time. Of course, he's got Mastery of Time. Whew! That was lucky. Charge bot, not so bad. That's a pretty good robot for me to have to deal with off of a Reese. Hopefully he doesn't go crazy with Mastery Time. He may just sit and... Nope, he's going to go in. That means he probably has more Mastery Time here. So that's 5 more damage to my face. See, more Mastery Time. And yeah, that's a little bit tougher to deal with. I can remove it with my Ambusher if I have to. I think it's going to come into play. We'll go ahead and attack, and then we'll see if we can Extinction here. And we also have Crash of Beasts. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He doesn't have enough to. He doesn't have me at lethal yet, so we might be okay. If he kills my Ambusher, that's good for me because it'll buff my. Or if he kills this guy, it'll buff my Ambusher. That's fine. Alright, well, let's see if he's got it. Does he have the counter magic or not? He's got Time Ripple for Reese. Okay. So I kill my own guy, Ambusher gets bigger, and I get a nice little Mossling there. Plays his Reese so he can get more robots, of course. I'm going to swing through with this. Well, actually, I'll play Ambusher to kill or to debuff Reese, and then, or actually, I've got 2 turns on that. Yeah, I'll probably just swing through because he's not going to want to block this. Actually, he'll probably block it with his Mimeobot. Ooh, double crash. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, blocks it with a Mimeobot. He can't counter here. He can bounce again. He can counter here. Let's just play the crash. See if we can draw out a counter. No, okay. He can't really swing here though, because he knows this guy's coming down, or you know, he knows something else. He knows he's got tons of board states, so he can't really swing with Reese here. Draw an extra card. I don't think he can swing. Okay, he's going to swing. It means he probably has Mastery of Time here. So I'll wait. I'll give him this one. He can have this one. We'll see if he's got Mastery of Time again. I'm guessing he has Mastery of Time. Or Eldritch Streamer. Okay. So my Ambusher can just kill the Eldritch Streamer outright. And then Crash of Bees. Yeah. Minion. Ambusher. Does he have counter? Probably not. Yeah, we'll just kill that Schmucker. Schmucker's Brand Peroxide. Necessary sacrifice. It should be game, right? So he can't stop all the damage unless he's got some more bounce or something. I can also play Crash of Beast, and he didn't counter the last one, so he needs a bounce here. That's what he needs. He needs to bounce he needs to bounce my Mossling to survive. That's the optimal bounce, or at least I think it is. Alright, good games. So, really close games there. A little bit of a mistake in round 1, but I think he still would have won or not round 1, but game 1. I think he still would have won it. Let's go ahead and stop our local recording and go.